And we have seen Rodgers being considered the favorite in the MVP race over Mahomes. So, Dom, who do you think deserves to win the MVP race?
Well, I mean, I think all three of the guys you put up there deserve to win it. I think obviously Rodgers and Mahomes probably deserve it a little bit more than Josh Allen. But I think Rodgers is going to get it for one reason, because of what Ryan said on Get Up. We just got off Get Up, and Ryan said that he has the story behind him. Not only is he playing well, but he has this great story behind him. But I want to take it the other direction, actually, because I want to see if I can convince you that Josh Allen deserves to be the MVP. Because I think we all accept that Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are the best quarterbacks. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best, because we both agree that if you could pick one quarterback, it'd be Patrick Mahomes. And we both probably agree that right now, Aaron Rodgers is playing well at the right time. But Josh Allen, his only loss in the last 9 games was off that Arizona Hail Mary. And he's been killing as far as stats are concerned. The only problem is those other guys have been killing too as far as stats are concerned, and his stats aren't better than them. But the argument for Josh Allen being MVP is he's demonstrated his value by the fact that his first 2 years, he had like a 49 QBR, which is below league average. And that team won 5 games and won 10 games. That team is a juggernaut now because his QBR is in the 80s. Like, he has demonstrated his value because he changed the fortunes of that team. You could argue that maybe it was Stephon Diggs. Maybe Stephon Diggs deserves to be in this conversation because he's changed that offense. But I think what Josh Allen has done in that organization, and he's proven a lot of us wrong, because I thought Josh Allen wasn't going to be a good pro, and I was right for the first 2 years. And then he made this miraculous leap in year 3 to playing like an elite quarterback week in and week out. I didn't see that happening. So to your point about it being about the story, about the league's protagonist, if you want to put it in that type of terms, the story that he's had this season, I think is more impressive. And maybe it puts him in line for most improved or something like that. But it's more impressive. His story, I think, is more impressive than Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
See, like the one thing I thought when we had Charlie on this show, who's awesome, great person, Dom on this show, who's awesome, a great person, was that we do the show differently than Max and Stephen A. Right? Like they come on here and they talk about each other. Stephen A calls Max corny, and Max drops some rap reference that even Stephen A doesn't know to show people that he's actually less corny than Stephen A. But I thought we were going to come on this show and do this show together. Right now, I just got in the good graces of Bills Mafia. Right? Monday night, they accepted me. They welcomed me in. They sent me this application to get on the Josh Allen bandwagon. I filled it out. I sent my application in. And I believe by the end of this week, I'll have my answer. But now you're going to make me say things against this guy. And I don't want to. I agree with you. Josh Allen has made a tremendous ascension. I also agree with you, and I was in the same part. I didn't think he was going to be a bad quarterback, but I never saw him being this. And now you see all of this improvement. You see how good this team is. You have to say, okay, there's a dude on that team with 120 catches, right? There's a dude on that team that helps you against man-to-man, which you were bad against coming into this season, because that dude gets a whole lot of separation. And that's Stephon Diggs. And now, Josh Allen should not be in any way hindered or counted as a negative against him because he has Stephon Diggs. Because that's what smart teams do, right? The Kansas City Chiefs gave Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell. They built the team around him to make him good. So you don't necessarily say that's why Josh Allen can't win it. But Josh Allen's third this year. Right? Because you also have to remember in the last game that they lost, which was the Hail Mary, Josh Allen also threw 2 second-half interceptions. And the reason they were ever losing and he had to come back and have that great late 2-minute drive was because he threw 2 interceptions and he allowed the Arizona Cardinals to stay in the game. You look at Patrick Mahomes, he's probably fallen behind Aaron Rodgers because of the Miami game, because of the game against Atlanta, and Aaron Rodgers continues to go. And then when you talk about stories, maybe something Charlie knows a little bit about, this is kind of like the Roman Reigns story against The Rock, right? Everybody who loves wrestling now would like, oh, Roman Reigns. But if The Rock come back, we gonna all be like, oh, y'all, The Rock is back. He got more muscles now. He got less hair. He don't wear a fanny pack, but The Rock is back, right? And when he asks us if we smell what he's cooking, you gonna smell it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what Aaron Rodgers is right now. Aaron Rodgers has conjured up some of that 2010 2011 stuff, bro. And the numbers read it, and with the numbers reading it, and after the narrative we set of them not having a possibility to contend because they ain't have no receivers, and you come do this, and Devontae Adams do what he's doing, oh, man, you got to give it to A-Rod. Oh, yeah. Got to.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
A-Rod is
my
cooking
other
something
question, guys.
funky this season. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what he's cooking. I want to hear about this funky dish.
Oh, no, I was just saying A-Rod is cooking something funky this season, and he definitely is deserving of it. And I'm not going to come at you with a bunch of stats because I tried my best to find some stats that made Josh Allen better than those guys. And every way I sliced him, he came up short.
Hey,
but I do think that
did you phone me like, oh boy?
I did. I should have. But the argument that you were saying, like you were pointing out that they have great or that he has great receivers, like that they don't have those same benefits in Green Bay and in Kansas City. Like Adams,
no, I said
if
that.
you're gonna say anybody is better than Diggs, like Adams is better. That O-line is great. I know you said it. I'm just saying that you can't pretend like that is a strike against him. And your point about him throwing those second half interceptions.
Stop Stephen A. me.
I know. Okay.
You're Stephen A. me.
Okay, my bad.
Stephen A. me.
I'm in the chair.
I'm in the chair. Stuff I ain't
it hit me because I'm in the chair.
Stephen A. always talk about I watch you on SportsCenter and all that. Stop that. Stop it.
My bad. Let me return.
Guys, which of your two picks?
I think.
Which of your two picks, Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen,
sorry, Charlie,
do you see more likely disrupting the Chiefs in their path to repeating as Super Bowl champs?
Ooh.
Dom, you can start since you were speaking.
Ooh, that's a good question. Nice job there. That's another one that's going to make me make one of these faces. I think that Aaron Rodgers. I think, I feel like I see the Chiefs getting to the Super Bowl, and if they lose, it's going to be there. I have a hard time imagining them getting knocked off before the Super Bowl by Josh Allen and the Bills. Not because they aren't good enough, just because I think that we haven't seen Mahomes not show up in a big moment. And to the point you made about Josh Allen's interceptions putting him in that hole to lose to potentially. Oh, no, they did end up losing that game to the Cardinals. He also made that incredible throw that was like the best throw of his career to Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs didn't have a ton of separation. And the same thing happened to Mahomes in that win last week. He didn't put up nearly as good numbers, and he tried to turn the ball over 5-6 times. So let's not pretend like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are perfect. They're not perfect. They're better than Josh Allen is, but Josh Allen deserves to get invited to New York if we're having a Heisman conversation.
Well, you're absolutely wrong because it's the Buffalo Bills. And I disagree with you in the sense of, of saying that. Not really, because I mean, I like being hated. But look, this is what I see in Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a level of arm arrogance. Yes, that's a term that I made up. I think we should start using that in QBRs. Maybe Madden should have it. He has a level of arm arrogance that I've only seen Patrick Mahomes has. Even Aaron Rodgers never had this level of arm arrogance, this level of, you know what, I don't care what defender it is, I don't care what defense you're in, if a play needs to be made, I'm going to make it. If a throw needs to be made, I can make that throw. And I can stand across the field from anybody in the NFL because he's always talking about him and Patrick Mahomes having a throw-off because he believes he's that dude. Because his talent makes him feel like, you know what, and maybe it did before he was this good, it made him feel like he was always this guy, right? That he was a guy that should be talked about in the MVP conversation. He was a guy that wasn't going to shy away from throwing at anybody. Let's not forget, when Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers, which I guess he's always been because he's still Aaron Rodgers, he would go play against the Seattle Seahawks and not even try Richard Sherman, right? Richard Sherman would have 0 targets. That ain't Josh Allen. Right. Josh Allen is not going to shrink. Whoever Stephon Diggs stands across from, whoever Cole Beasley stands across from, Josh Allen going to say, you know what? If it's this much space, I can get that football in there. And this is the defense with Tre'Davious White, with Levi Wallace, with great safeties and Jordan Poyer and Hyde. These guys, Micah Hyde, these guys can make those plays. These guys can create turnovers. And so I think when the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs get to play, and I hope it happens, I hope it's not one of those Muppet situations like we had with Bean, may he rest in peace, and LeBron, where we never got to see it. We need